Carlos Nelson with Cascade Media Group, and tonight is on our community organizations, and we have the president of the Blue Hills Community Organization with us, Mr. Khalifa Bey. Welcome, Khalifa.
Thank you, brother. Welcome, man. Thank you for having me, man. It's been a long time. We've been trying to make this happen since last year.
Right. I'd like to discuss, first of all, I'd like for you to give our community a little bit about you, who you are, and where you come from, and what you have over the last 20 years, maybe life. I don't know. I know 20 years you dedicated your life to because we're on the community organization tab.
Right. Well, brother, thank you, man. I'm a native of California, Pasadena, California, but however, I grew up here kind of all my life. Uh, you know, I guess in the beginning, man, about getting here, I came here with my mom, and it was about five of us. We grew up, down north. I think on 29th and Highland. And then, I grew up like most of us, man, in a broken home, no father in the home. My father was really a police officer. And so I was in and out of trouble. And unfortunately, I got into a little trouble with petty larceny as a teenager and stuff like that. And they sent me on to a group home, that sort of thing. And I knew when I got out, I spent a couple of years there, but I knew when I got out, I had a bigger purpose. And so I grew up like every kid, the dope dealer, the pimp was my role model, same story. And so after I got out of that, out of jail somewhat, I kind of just grew into consciousness by listening to Farrakhan. I still had a Christian base minister. I used to listen to Charles Stanley. So I had a variety of people influencing my life, and then I got out. Mr. Alvin Brooks was played a huge part in my life because as he started the ad hoc group against crime, excuse me, he was up there, I think on Linwood, across the street from Metropolitan Church, from Hartsfield's church. And so by going there and I start seeing how the fratricidal crime that was going on, even way back then in the 90s, how we were killing each other and how it really kind of affected families. And so I kind of saw crime and violence from another view, brother. And I saw how many of these families was hurting and how Mr. Brooks kind of got law enforcement involved. And I studied him. I watched him for years. And eventually, a lot of the gold chains began to kind of come off my neck. But I traveled that road, and then I think we looked into the Precious Doe case. That got solved. Alonzo Washington was a good friend of mine. We kind of did some joint venturing together. But I kind of graduated and kind of grew out of that. And I wanted to kind of start at my own because I see how a lot of executives at that time were having non-for-profits. So back in the early 90s, I think I was the youngest person that even started a non-for-profit because I just kind of watched how people operated. And I said, I can do that. I can do that. I can make a difference in my community and I can run the show. And so I worked up under Keith Brown and Mr. Brooks for a while. And when they had the Million Man March, I think that was the turn of my life in 1995 in Washington, D.C. When I saw us gathered together as Black men, that was such an impact in my life that I knew that it was for me to be there. And I knew I was put here to make change. And so.
Can I interrupt you for a minute? uh, what did that feel like? See, seeing that on TV, and so my son and my daughter went to that. And regardless of what took place after or what have you, explain what that felt like to be around that many people that look like you and me. Going to a concert is one thing, but going to something like that, what did that do for you from a self-image, from a mental health standpoint, if you would can bring
Well,
yourself?
it was like I was going to a hospital and somebody was performing surgery. Somebody was performing spiritual surgery on me, mental surgery. And I felt the importance of being Black. And I felt, and I love being Black, you know. And when I got to the mall about 5 o'clock, I can still see the morning dew. And there must have been about 200,000 Black men there. They were coming out of the subways like water, like there was water. And my tears just kind of failed, man. I was like, all these brothers, we were hugging each other. And we were coming to hear a message from a man. We came to hear one person, and that was the minister, and we fellowship all that day. And even prior to that, that's when I got a chance to meet Betty Shabazz. I got a chance to meet Mayor Berry, Kwame, Stokely Carmichael, which is
Kwame
Kwame
Nkrumah.
Stewart. Yeah, I got a
See,
chance.
they all my generation. I used
Yeah,
to live in Law, Maryland before I came here, right outside of DC. Barry
right.
and all of them.
And I was around all those guys, and so that was during the pre-rally. But hearing all the speakers there, and when the minister gave us a 10-point command, you know, go find your children, go say you're sorry to your daughter's mother or your wife or whatever, go meet your kid's teacher. I mean, it was like heaven. It was hard to explain. It was really like heaven. And so,
Well, that's why I interrupted you, because that feeling, that's what we're trying to purvey across the internet through our media company. We have to come together.
right, most definitely. But I got a chance to be, you know, in the room with some great people that inspire me. Cornel West, Dr. Cornel West, Joseph Lowry, just so many. I can keep going. So when I came back to Kansas City, I said, you know, I got to do something. I got to do something. And even prior to the Million Man March, where I really kind of got close to the minister, is during the death of Biggie and Tupac. Uh, when that went on and we had that East Coast, West Coast rivalry, that was a little bit prior to the Million Man March. And that's when I got a chance to meet Russell, meet Puffy, some of the other artists. And our first place we met was in Chicago. But however, we did that, and we came up to an agreement that, you know, we would visit each city and teach financial literacy. And so we did that for about 7 or 8 years. I got tired of that, and we kind of moved on. So now I got involved in neighborhoods. I formed my own non-for-profit. I was bringing Russell and them here, Mr. Gary, so many people. And I just I felt like there wasn't a big enough impact. And so recently, I've been in touch with JP Morgan and Chase, the head of JP, Jamie Dedman.
Jamie Dimon.
Diamond, yeah. Had some conversations with him, planning on going to see him. And so what he's done is kind of kind of put me in touch with the local Chase people here, which I met with them. And we're looking at housing and redeveloping homes. So with that, I've been in touch with some of the other giants in our community, but my whole focus, Brother Nelson, is really changing lives. You know, I think if I can change the lives of people and where they live in their neighborhood, promote Black businesses, because, and the reason why I say your business is so important and you don't need mainstream. Tommy Simmons is a good friend of mine. He used social media to take down the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department and shed a lot of light on that. And he didn't do that by mainstream media. He was on Facebook. And he talked about, well, he not only talked, he had proof of things that happened to him on paper. And I was with this guy when he first got out of prison. You know, he was a really interesting guy. And I followed him. I went to some board meetings and I advocated for him because what he had was solid. So to make a long story short, you know, he the one kind of championed that, to brought justice to light on that. And one man did it. I mean, he did it through social media. And so I'm looking forward to trying to introduce digital and broadband in our community. And I really need you because we're having some development and some discussion on the 63rd Street project. And I definitely like to see you a part of that, teaching our youth about digital media, broadband opportunities for our young people. We got to teach them, Brother Carlos. You know, we got to teach our young people and introduce them to new things, technological age. And so I've been in touch with my council persons, of course, the mayor. I need to really I need our people to show up at the city budget. Let's talk about the city budget. As you seen recently, a couple of days ago, they put out a application about KC Rebuild. Okay, KC Rebuild, the city has millions of dollars to rebuild neighborhoods in Kansas City. I've been talking about this for the last 3 years, and I think finally somebody's listening to me. But
you illuminating something to me because I know nothing about that. And that's another point that I'm saying why we have to have, and not just have to have, because we already have it. Cascade has already provided it, but you have to plug in.
Right. Well, that's
you're
my
giving
job.
information that I don't know anything about, and I'm in media per se. A lot of our community don't know that need to plug into what you're talking about.
Okay, well, I need your help in putting it out. Then I think we need to shift what we're giving our information to. See, when people don't project us, we shouldn't listen to them. If white folks in Main Street, if they're not projecting us in a positive way to empower our community, we shouldn't view them. We shouldn't view them. And so if you come up, we all come up, you know, as a people. But what I want our people to realize, the city budget is coming up in March. I need them to attend, virtual and in person, because I want them to know. I keep telling our people is that when we elect them to be stewards of our money, we are the taxpayers, we are the government. We, the people, are the government. You understand what I'm saying? We are the government. They work for us, so we elect them to be good stewards of our money. So we have a right to see where our money's allocated. We have a right to allocate where our money see fit. And so we need our first responders, the fire department. I mean, I love the fire department. Children's Mercy Hospital. You're right. I don't see nowhere in terms of Black media, them teaching even our young people training opportunities for us. But I think that's beginning to change because we have a really good mayor. I like our mayor. He and I at least scramble and text each other at least 2 or 3 times a week. I think we're
He's
on the
social
same.
media savvy.
Well, huh?
He is social media savvy.
Yeah, yeah. And so he wants to do something. He wants to do something to help blight areas in our neighborhood, you know, distress areas. So, but what I need though is people to come out to the city budget meetings. But anyway, let's talk about KC Rebuild. So the city has gotten money from the CARES Act. Now you know about the CARES Act, right? They have gotten, I think, 200-something million from the feds or whatever. And I think everybody got that last year. And so, but we looked at about 15 million for neighborhoods, okay? 3 million for homeless people. So now we got to start getting that money. And so, and I thank our city council persons again, Councilwoman Raina Parks, Lee Barnes, Melissa Robinson, Catherine Shields, the mayor. I really thank them, you know. So what we got to do now is get that money. And what I'm doing in Blue Hills is that I'm visioning 100 homes in Blue Hills, rehabbing 100 homes in Blue Hills in the next 2 years. And so, and that way then we're going to make our neighborhood safer by adding security cameras. You know, we'll be able to know who's coming in and out our community. We'll be able to monitor our whole block by these camera systems. And I'm seeking private funding for that. I'm going out of town on my own, talking to the private sector on supporting our neighborhood. And so what I'm trying to say is that I'm just trying to change the quality of life for people. You know, if you change the quality of life for people, Brother Nelson, you change the mindset. Somehow we're violent towards each other, and that's unacceptable. Somehow we all feel like we're fighting over one pot of money, which we don't have to. You know, if I can get you to put, see, you're more better to put our word out on what goes on in our community. That should come from us to you and to social media. But I'm looking forward, brother, to working with you. And I want you to teach our young people. I definitely want you to partner. That at one building, that's getting ready to disappear.
April 1st. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm in touch with Rob Farmer, with Urban America, and we're telling them this is what we want, you know, and I need you to join me at meetings and stuff. And I need neighborhood residents that live in the 5th district. I mean, you know, you have your input. And so I need you to put that out there that we're going to be doing some more Zoom meetings. And so what do you see what Prospect look like? What do you see what 63rd Street look like? And so I got some ideas. We at Blue Hills got some ideas of how we want that to look like. We definitely want adequate housing around those neighborhoods. And we want our own media outlet, brother. So it's a blessing from God that you contacted me again. We hooked up, man. And that's one thing I'm really going to be fighting for is that we help you to help us in the community to get the word out, man, you know?
Well, I think we have the community organization tab. There's another community organization that has come on board per se. And I had talked to different ones that headed these community organizations, and but the response, we talked off camera about how community organizations should work, but how they do work. And I can't see any reason why every community organization in Kansas City, especially Kansas City proper, wouldn't want to be able to come on at least once a month I was saying every other week, whoever heads these community organizations, they'd be able to come on Cascade Media and What's Up Kansas City and say, this is what we're doing in our organization this month, and this is, and every last one of them would have a voice. And it's not coming from major media where it's crafted and edited. I won't edit any of this conversation. Where we can speak in our own voice and create our own narratives. And you're not going to be able to do that on somebody else's network.
That's right. That's right. Well, you know, brother, what I'm gonna talk to my board, talk to some other people. I definitely want to write you in, and we got to get you a home, a permanent home
That's
that we
right.
want, you know, get you a home, because the thing is, it's just preparing our youth to take our spot, take your spot where you are.
Boy, I want somebody to hurry up and take my spot.
Yeah, we got to take your spot. So we got to get those young people who are interested in journalism, radio, media. We got to get them to you so you can train them and prepare them and get some grants for them so they can go to school.
That's the main thing, because school will give them a springboard in life. I don't believe per se at this point in time that you got to go to school, to college, what have you. But I do believe you have to acquire information, because information applied is power. And
that's right.
If I started my company with high school kids out of Lincoln Prep and Hogan, but that was in 08. Media was just coming out. I was one of the blacks that had cameras and let them, and they went at it, because YouTube and all that stuff was just coming out. Then I started having interns. Matter of fact, most of the girls that worked with me, they all have their masters in film and different things, and they all went to school on scholarship, because they all worked in the sports departments or one of the departments at the colleges, and the colleges gave them 18 hours, 16 hours scholarships. And I tell the young people all the time, you can go to college and come away with degrees, but if I'm hiring somebody, I'll take a person that hasn't been to school, that knows how to edit, knows how to interview, and has a multiplicity. They don't have no degrees, but they got a lot of experience. And most of us don't understand that building a portfolio of work that employer or somebody can see is much more impressive than a degree. A degree is to me is old school.
Right. But you know what, brother, and what we want to do both, bro. We want to do both, because if I can get them interested in doing what you're doing, it may prepare them to say, hey, let me go ahead and go to this, you know.
Well, I'm saying you could go to college. All I'm saying is college.
I got you, brother. I understand what you're saying. The thing is, I gotta.
I think we need more tech schools.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, more tech schools. And so that's what I'm pushing, because we're in a new technological age, brother. And so what I have going on is, you know, I want to be able to create an atmosphere where kids will have their own app, creates their own app, go into business in the technological age. We got to train our brothers. I mean, you know, our brothers and sisters, brother. And so what I'm saying is, I'm going to need you. And what you're doing is so important. It's so important. And we got to groom our kids. I got to get you a home. And things is going to work up. I just don't want to give the recipe to all my secret sauce that I'm doing.
You've been around, man. I told you came across my radar today when I hit your page or hit your name, and then I like going through people's photographs.
Right.
Because that tells you who the hell they are to me. And I I seen that you have been involved with the community from a different level, from a grassroots, from the gangs, and I feel a little bit kinship. You can speak to the dope fiend and you can speak to the president and be
Right.
comfortable in both roles, because that's where I'm at.
Hey, you know what, brother? Let me tell you something, man. I say this to my board from time to time, and this is really true, brother. I get bored pretty easy. If I'm not doing something great, I'm not doing something at all, man. I mean, this local stuff is cool. Let me tell you something. Brother, I'm gonna go meet some people, God willing. Uh, this local stuff to me is just boring. You know, when I go out of town, I'm gonna show my elected official. When you go out of town and you have an opportunity to meet with real movers and shakers and billionaires, come back with something. I'm gonna show them how it's so easy to go up there and have I don't care. I don't care who the person is. I've talked to billionaires, millionaires. My little brother's a millionaire. I've talked to him every goddamn day. But you know, it's a chemistry. It's a gift, I guess. I don't look at people as big and stuff like that. I don't look at them as small either. I just look at them as who they are. And so my conversation with some of them, I'm excited in what I'm doing, you know, and if God is with you, you're excited, I'm confident, but I want to show our elected officials that, hey, you can go out and get private money. Just don't just don't take our tax-paying dollars and chef with the way you want, but go out and get some private dollars. I'm gonna go out there and show them, you know, you can meet with the man that runs the whole financial system. That's nothing. That's nothing. And ask them and encourage them to give you some money. Come on, we bank. We're African. We spend more money on junk, everything. We spend money on a lot of money, and they know it.
Yeah.
And so what I'm gonna do, God willing, is just to go and help our community and change the quality of life. You know, for us, you know, Brother Nelson, and you know, people here. I love our city. We have a great city, but we have some issues that we need to resolve in terms of black on black crime, our cohesiveness among each other. Most of our black organizations are not free. They still on a plantation. They still are like welfare recipients. You see what I'm saying? They're
I
not
know what you're
free.
saying, and
They're
that's a
not
hard
free.
battle to fight, because when you come with the truth of what's going on, most
Right.
people don't want to face it. You know, we as black people, just like the majority community, when we say they don't want to face certain things that go along with history, their ancestry, we don't want to face certain things that we're doing in our community, because it's not pleasant, and we don't want to feel uncomfortable. But being uncomfortable is progress, change.
Right.
When you start feeling real comfortable, there's something wrong with that.
That's right. That's right, man. That's right. And see, brother God, I'm telling you, brother, I got to introduce you to Tommy Simmons one of these times,
No,
man.
let me tell you this. I've been knowing. Oh, I didn't tell you. You might not know this. I'm a gangster posing as a businessman.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, you know Tommy Simmons then.
I've been knowing Tommy for 30 years.
Okay, well, but I'm just saying, brother, I mean, when I met him,
Tommy did Luffy's. Tommy's the first one to do that.
Right, right.
I don't
right.
know the whole deal on that. I've been knowing
Right.
Tommy a long time, and it was funny that you brought Tommy up tonight. Like I told you how I was scrolled on Tommy today.
Right.
And the first thing came to my mind was, bro, you done brought the establishment down. Now what's your next move?
Yeah. And he did that through social media,
Right,
man.
right. Hold it, but it
Man.
took, let me say this, man, Tommy been on them for about 5 to 7 years. I can't say whatever. And I was like to myself, man, why don't you stop beating that drum? It seemed like they're not going to do nothing.
Right.
But he never gave him and Alvin Sykes.
Right.
Hey, you don't want them on your case.
Right. So anyway, man, I'm gonna bring this to a close. But brother, I can't wait till we hook up. Your voice is important. I think that I definitely want to get with you again. Matter of fact, if you could come to my swearing in. Can you come to my swearing in?
When is that?
I think it's
Text me when it
February.
is, and I'll look at my calendar. If I
Yeah,
can, I'll make sure we're there with the cameras.
Okay, yeah, it's on a Saturday. You got to be there because Raina, the council person, to be there. Our whole membership. I want them to. I want to introduce you to them. I want them to know that, hey, I'm gonna write you in our budget. You see what I'm saying? Because we got to get our
Raina's
stuff
been on the show like 2 or 3 different times on the politics.
Really?
Yeah, I told you, if you don't go, there's not a council person. I did the mayor's first 3 or 4 interviews in his office when he first came on board. They didn't even know nothing about Zoom back then.
Wow.
I'm saying there's not a councilman that you can't go to What's Up Kansas City under the political tab, hour-long interviews with all of them. And we talk just like we're talking now. A lot of people say, Mr. Nelson, you're not professional. I'm like, I'm not trying to be professional. I'm trying to have conversations. You're the one with all of that professionality.
Right. See, the thing is, you got, we got to keep a free democracy. See, you got to be able to report what you hear on the streets as it is. And so I guess what I'm saying is when I go to add you in, I guess none of the city council people would object then to us, you working with our kids and educating them.
No, I don't think so, because I don't let my past dictate my future.
I know. And what we're gonna do, brother, because neighborhoods need you. What I really want to do next month, I want you to come to the police board meeting with me. Okay, I want to introduce you to some people.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let me tell you this that you don't even know. I started the Cub Scout programs in the Kansas City School District.
Is that right?
Yes.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
My godfather called the capo, set on Boy Scouts of America. I had the largest troops in the Midwest. I used to have it at James Elementary, where Don Maxwell's wife was the president, and at Meservey Elementary, where Carol Ladd was she's passed on now, but and I don't know whether you know, I was a founding board member of the Full Employment Council, Board Clyde McLean here. I'm saying, I know how this community works and who's who. And that's why we started this media company, because we felt our community did not really have a digital voice to express itself in real time.
Right. Well, here's another thing too. We're having a teen summit in February. I went down at Arts Tech. I want you to come down there.
The new director, I had talked to him a week after he got here out of St. Louis.
Yeah, Juan,
right.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. I'm helping him. He's gonna have a boatload of money. I'm getting him some money. I'm getting him some money. So he's tied into what you and I talked about off camera. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
About that whole broadband thing. Okay. So that may be one of the training areas for you too. Okay, brother. Brother's always nice talking to you, man. We got to do this again. I'm definitely going to text you about the swearing in, because I need to talk to Raina, Councilwoman Raina.
Park Shaw.
Yeah, I gotta get this information out about the city budget. So I need you. We gotta alert our people.
We will look and see how we can work with your organization and better communicating to your constituents as relates to what is taking place with city, county, and the government, and on a local deal. I'm interested in, from a media perspective. Normally, I would not be saying I'm going to come in this, but I'm interested in trying to line up some interviews with individual homeowners in your
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
so that they can say this is what we want. Because how things go, I've looked at a lot of different reports that the city, Parks and Rec, and different ones, they hire these people to come in town to evaluate what the deal is. And every last one of them say that y'all keep managing from the top down and y'all are not listening to what the people want.
Right.
And again, hence why I said I'd like to interview, because once you put the homeowner on camera and what have you, they can't say is Khalifa Bey saying he wants this.
Right.
That these people are paying taxes. And
that's right.
And this is what they are expressing. And if you're not listening, then that's a whole nother subject.
That's true, man. That's true. We need you, man. You're valuable to our community, man. And it's my word, man. See, this is what I do, man. I mean, it's like when Tommy Sims, we go back to Tommy. I met Tommy. Miss Cole introduced me to him. It was, well, I think about 15 years ago. He just got started. And this guy, man, I mean, I've been with him ever since. And I gave him the landscape. I said, man, this is what's happening out here. Good brother, man. But God sent you my way and me your way.
You know, Carol Cole was my mentor.
Yeah, she was like my mom. And so it was rough, but yeah, she was like my mom. She was like my mom. I mean, she traveled with me. Matter of fact, Carol traveled with me a lot. And matter of fact, she got pictures with Diddy. I took her to Diddy's party, P. Diddy's party, where, I mean, everybody, she traveled with me all the time, her and Ailey. But Brother Nelson, we're going to get together, man. Let's talk. I'm going to email you all this information, man, and be excited about it, man, because the mayor's doing something really, really great, man.
I want him. He's a good mayor. I think Quentin has been a community person per se. I have my beef with him on certain things. But
me too. I mean, I jump on him all the time. It's okay, but see, here's the thing: is Nelson with him, he needs it, and he knows who does it with love. See, I do it with love.
I support the man because he has made a difference in shining light on to some issues that have been long overlooked. My thing with us, you don't have to like Mr. Nelson. I don't have to like the mayor, but I gotta respect what you're doing. I ain't gotta like you. And I'm gonna support you. And
that's right.
You know, but we as people gotta get over these personalities and look at the bigger picture.
Right. And you know what, brother? What I'm doing is letting people know about the city budget. Listen, brother, those are tax-paying dollars that we have. Okay, you are a valuable. Your company is valuable to our community, especially to those elderly residents. I mean, I got some stuff for you. I gotta line you up. We're gonna talk.
All right.
We're gonna talk, brother. I gotta get you at the table.
Hold on. We're gonna close out with this, as I always say in closing. When you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself.
The program is brought to you by the Kansas City Business Association.